Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Friday. It's Friday. You know what that means? Mindset to Mike, Friday 15. Back at you. Jimmy over here on this side.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the show, Mindset to Mike. Let's get this weekend started with some positivity and some brain thoughts to grow that thing.
Oh, some brain thoughts.
Thoughts for that brain.
I like it. It's a good week, man. It was a solid week. How was your week?
Solid, man. It's been really good. Staying productive, getting a lot of stuff done, getting shit done, as I like to say.
See what you did there? I like it. Same here, man. It's been good. Recovering from the old wisdom teeth thing. I'm back on my handstand work, some reading, a little bit of exercise, all the good stuff. The good stuff that makes you feel good.
All that mind and body positivity.
Damn right, man. So, well, it's Friday. Let's get into it. It's a little 15 minutes.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk about was reacting versus responding.
Oh,
That's a good subject to talk about. This kind of, like everything else we talk about, there being a positive and a negative, there's always two sides to pretty much everything. So reacting versus responding is a good one. So when you're reacting, it's typically like an unconscious bias, like reaction to something based on your beliefs. It could be prejudice, or you get super defensive over something, and you don't really consider like the long-term effects of things. You just react to immediately. So responding, the other side of that would be, it's slower, it's more information based. You consider the well-being of you and everyone around you, and it's more of a long-term type response. And it really brings out your core values when you're able to process things before you respond, as opposed to reacting to where you're just kind of off the cuff, initial emotions, which probably is going to lead to some type of negative, conversation. In most cases, if it could offend a lot of people, if you go right to reacting to things. So the more reaction you have, the less power you actually have when it comes to, certain circumstances. If you're just quick to jump the gun and not hear the whole story, you piss a lot of people off,
Yeah, I mean, you're operating off straight up emotion, and that's never good.
That's it.
Because your emotions, obviously, we talk about your brain and how your brain instantly wants to go to, the easy way or your default response. And, when you reacting, odds are that it's going to be the wrong response no matter what when you react, because something happens and you just fly off the cuff. And we've all been there, it's tough to not do that sometimes. But, you're just, if you had to gamble, right? If you're a gambling man, would you put your money on the best response being the one you just do without thinking immediately, or the response you take some time to think about and formulate and calculate and pull in all different, different opinions and different thoughts and different facts and understanding the situation? You put your money on that all the time. That's going to be the right answer. And it's better for you. It's better for your brand. If you respond instead of reacting, you look more thought out. More oftentimes than not, you're right. You sound like you know what the hell you're talking about, rather than flying off the cuff and cussing somebody out for something.
Yeah, and it can be tough because when you're in a heated conversation or with anyone, or you feel a lot of pressure to answer quickly, like when you're in an argument or a debate or something. So taking the step back and just analyzing things and be like, okay, just let's just you can have a debate and disagreement with someone and not be negative, right? When you're able to respond opposed to react, you're able to consider all the avenues of the subject or whatever it is. That allows you to gather more information and make a educated statement or whatever it is, that way you guys can see both sides of the story.
Yeah, man. I had a guy in a meeting one time tell me, lean over the table, point at me with all four fingertips and say "N-O" period to a question I asked. And I'm like, now, mind you, we're all adults here. We're all, we're we're all in a meeting of there's executives involved. There's it's a kind of high profile meeting, and this guy did that to me, and the reacting would have been, would have been fuck you, or
Right.
if I just let myself react, it would have been something really, really bad for my image and my career, and especially the situation. Nothing would have came out of it. So I actually just took a breath, sat back, all right, and I actually got up and left and went to the bathroom. And rather than trying to look like I was walking out on the guy, I just excused myself, came back, and when we revisited it, I had a chance to think through it, right? And I know now. Here's I think a really good key to responding instead of reacting is the other person has showed their cards, right?
Yeah.
So he showed me right there how he felt about this situation and how he was going to handle it no matter what. He was going to be an asshole no matter what about this, and he planted his flag in what he thought was right. So I was able to, okay, when I stepped away, now I know his position. Now how can I attack him from a different angle when I go back with a thought out response, some more facts to better my chances of getting what I want across? You know what I mean? So I was able to go back and approach him in a way that I wouldn't have been able to if I had just responded, because now he showed his cards. His stuff was on the table. I know how to approach him now. So it really makes the person or the situation weaker. You're taking the power from the person or the situation when you respond instead of reacting. Reacting, yeah. You're giving them all the power.
Yep. And typically a reacting triggers more reacting within the other person. That's
hell yeah.
Those arguments, someone comes off the cuff with something crazy and then you immediately rebuttal, then there's defensiveness on both sides, and there's no ground is ever made. There's no solutions to that, because it's just, you're just too worried about being right or whatever. You're not open to, whatever else the conversation can be about.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I agree. And then you're stuck in this spiral of just being on defense, and no, you can't accomplish anything. And then you're wasting your time and your energy.
This reminded me of that negotiation book that I read too. When you're in a negotiation, the last thing you want to do is react to something, especially when dealing with a customer or something like that. Because customers are already defensive if you're trying to sell them something, especially if they don't know you. And then you allow them to react. That's great, because then, like you said, they're showing you their cards, and then you kind of know how to approach things going forward. All those techniques that we talked about reading that book, mirroring and allowing them to basically give you all the information that you need with just responding, and silence goes a way longer way than reacting, for sure.
Hell yeah.
You just sit back and let them ramble on, and they're going to tell you exactly what you need to know.
Yep. You nailed it. Yeah. So the key is taking some time rather than flying off the cuff. You got to respond instead of reacting. I love it. That's a good,
cool your jets,
Cool your freaking jets, man. That's it at the end of the day. And what that really makes me think about is, and then this is a fun fact, I don't know if you even know this, but dogs can't operate, but cats can.
Really? Cats can.
You see what I did?
Joke.
I don't know. Just a little funny joke. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Now I have one I wanted to bring up, and it's actually from that book we're reading, the 12 Principles, which I think we can both agree, not the most intriguing book like we thought at this point. It's kind of a tough read. It's like, I don't know. He's tying more and more religion in as you go through. And he's using it to make really good points. It's just how he's getting to his points is like tough, man. It's tough to get through.
Yeah, he tends to dive into like a lot of negative to kick off every one of his rules. There's always like a kind of a negative beat down on why people think the way they think. And then he kind of goes into the religion or whatever, and then trying to turn it around. At the end of the day, he has very valid points, and it's just real hard to get to exactly what he's talking about.
But yeah, it's kind of a downer. So anyway, but Buzz Killington over there said, he did say that, I pulled this out of the last chapter. He said, life doesn't suck. You suck. And I was like, oh, I was listening to it in the truck on the way to work. I'm like, oh, and I reacted. I said, motherfucker, you suck. You know?
Oh, hell no.
And, but then he kept going, and I love the point he was making. So, life doesn't suck. You suck. So does life suck because you're lacking something? If you think life sucks, it's obviously because you're missing something. So your first thought should be, am I missing something by fault of my own? Which it's probably going to be yes. So am I lacking knowledge? Am I lacking wisdom? Am I lacking a hobby? What am I lacking that makes life suck? You can't put it on other people, put it on other situations. It's your life. So first of all, figure out what you're lacking. And then he had an example of, my life sucks because I want my boss's job. So in that scenario, he said, well, you want your boss's job so bad. That's where you're putting all your energy. But your boss is like 20 years away from retirement, doing a really good job. You are not going to get your boss's job unless something happens to him, right? And it doesn't matter how good of a job you're doing. He's doing a good job too. So life sucks because I want this guy's job. Well, guess what? You're chasing the wrong thing. You shouldn't be chasing his job. So his point was, take the time. If you think your life sucks because of something, take the time, first of all, to analyze, is that something you're chasing the right thing? Should you be chasing that, or are you just spinning your wheels? Because if you're going through life sucks because I can't have this job I want, well, then you better shift gears. You better aim for something that does make your life better, because having that job is not going to do it. You're not going to get that job. There's a thin line between setting a goal and having a vision for yourself and making your goal something that is literally unachievable, if not for someone else. You're hinging your happiness on someone else.
Yeah.
And that is no control.
Right. And that's exactly what we talked about in a previous episode, was you can't put your expectations or compare yourself to other people, right? So you are the one that's in control of your life. It's not life in general that sucks. Life is the most amazing thing that we all have access to. It's what you do with it that matters, that counts, right? So readjusting your mindset and to focus on things that really matter, that can bring you happiness and have your life not suck, that's all on you. So if you want to point the finger at life, you're never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, because life doesn't suck. Pull all the way back. Life is pretty sweet, dude.
Life is fucking tight, dude.
Bro, there's so much tightness out there, dude.
Yeah, man, totally.
So, tough message, but I liked it. Life doesn't suck. You suck. Aim at something better. Fix it. I just thought that was sweet, dude. I liked it. So, bro, I think that's our time. I think that's 15. I think she gone. These Friday 15s, boy, they fly by on you. So, to recap, respond, don't react. Advice from my main man Drew over here. Really, really good advice. And then life doesn't suck. You suck. Aim at something that's going to fix it, and fix it yourself. It's nobody else's fault.
That's it.
And then, there was a sweet pun in there by me, a sweet little fun pun joke. So if you want to rewind, listen to it again. I don't know. And we appreciate everybody. Again, keep the ideas coming. Keep all the feedback coming. Keep listening. Love it, love it, love it. You guys are incredible. I got to tell you, bro, I think we're hitting a stride with this thing. Exactly. I think they're getting better and better, man. I feel better doing them. More people are listening. More people are reacting, responding. I'm excited about the future of this thing, man. We're helping people, which I like.
Having the feedback is definitely a huge motivator. And we're going to keep doing this regardless, but having the interaction, I think it's so powerful. It makes me want to dive into more, learning new stuff to be able to share with people. Plus the Challenge Your Boys series is super fun. And by the way, we're going to have some updates on week 1 coming up this weekend. So stay tuned for that.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's our 15, man. We'll quit bugging you nerds, and enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Keep an eye out on what we're doing. Go Bucks. Penn State sucks. Ooh, I'm getting ready to drop a mixtape. That might be my next challenge. Drop a mixtape.
Beat for you.
All right. Until next time, everybody, grow your brain a little bit.
That's it. Stay productive and get shit done.